FNAF plus tier list equals FNAF tier list. Hello and welcome back to my second channel. I would be posting this on my main channel, but I kind of have a little FNAF roleplay running and I don't want to confuse YouTube. So we're just throwing it on my second channel. I think everyone understands the concept of a tier list, so let's just get right into the video. Just to start off, all these opinions that will be shared are mine, so don't at me in the comments and start screaming at me when I put your favorite game in a bottom tier. So, yeah. The reason the tier list goes to E is because I don't believe any of these games are truly awful and unplayable. They all just have a lot of flaws. Well, some of them. Without further ado, let's get right into the ranking. FNAF 1, the game that started it all. And I'll give it this, it was a very good start. This game is the pinnacle of the creepy era of FNAF. It's more sci-fi now, but it started out as very unsettling and creepy with the random carousel noises and the Foxy's little song to whatever security breach is, but we'll get to that. So this game in a lot of ways is basic, but it utilizes a lot of the earlier techniques that's got used in this game, so like the creepy, just lifeless animatronics mixed with the ambience that's so good in this game to honestly just make an almost perfect game. I think its major flaw is I feel like some of the other games you can play constantly more and more and more and still enjoy it. I feel like because there's not that many animatronics in this one, it really only holds up the first few times and if you're playing in the dark at 1 in the morning. But other than that, I love this game. It's so fun to play. Like I said, like on early plays, you can't play it a lot constantly or else it's not really going to be fun, but it's just really fun. The designs of the animatronics are cool, and I just overall think it's a really good game. So I'm gonna have to say A tier for this first one. Oh boy, yeah, there's a massive difference in these two. See, I don't know what Scott was on. He was on that good stuff when he was making this game. Because, you think as the games go on, there'd be, slight character progression, maybe a few here and there. There's like 12 animatronics in this game. To me, it's more of a strategic survival game than a horror game. So when people say this is their absolute favorite FNAF game, it actually shocks me because there's no FNAF in it. The only thing that really resembles it is the surviving till 6 a.m. and the animatronics. The rest of it, it's like the first game just doesn't matter. It's like they just threw away the key principles of the game and switched it out for a survival game. When that's not what the original was. The original was a creepy game with hidden lore that you were meant to figure out while being hunted by 4 animatronics when you're just trapped in a little room. And this, there's no doors. You can you don't have to look at I'm not saying you have to look at the cameras in FNAF 1, but now you know by now the cameras are literally useless. They have a mechanic in the game that makes it so you cannot use other cameras. It's so stupid. And the mask, it would be cool if almost every single animatronic in the game worked to where you can just use the mask and win. It's not fun, and it's too redundant, repetitive, and just too difficult in the long run for it to be an actual enjoyable game. And I honestly hate this game. So I'm gonna have to say a D tier. I apologize, hate is a very strong word. I do dislike this game. I only like it for the designs. And the puppet. The puppet's awesome. We love the puppet. Other than the mechanic. I'm rambling. FNAF 3. See, I can't judge from personal experience because the security breach ones in AR are the only ones I've not personally played. I just had a lot of resentment towards this game when I was younger, so I never even bothered giving it a shot, but I have played every other FNAF game. So, with that being said, I'm going to try to rank this game as fairly as possible from what I've personally seen. This game had a lot good in concept, but it was handled poorly with the camera system. You do need the camera system, but the cameras are just really blurry, and it kind of takes a little bit of the enjoyment out of seeing the rooms around the pizzeria. So there's that. And I think a big problem with the game is how he utilized Springtrap, because in concept Springtrap could have been so much more, but instead you need the camera to just kind of lure them in random places, and you can just kind of keep it in one spot the entire time and win. Other than that, Springtrap is a sick design, very menacing villain, and yeah, that's pretty much all I'd say about Springtrap. He's just really cool, and that's for my kind of good things with this end. And now we have the Phantoms. The Phantoms in concept, once again, could have been amazing. They threw a lot of inconvenience to the night, but it's the fact that there's so many and they appear so frequently that really throws the game off, in my personal opinion. I think they become less of an obstacle and more of just a thing that happens that makes you progressively matter at the game as it goes on, and I really don't like that in games. So that's really all I had to say for FNAF 3, but it's good, but it has so much potential. The endings were really good. The mini games explained a lot about the lore in the Springlock one. Oof. But anyways, I'm gonna have to give this one a C. FNAF 4. Now, I don't really care how many videos I see on how this is the pinnacle of horror. FNAF 4 is overrated. I'm gonna have to take a PewDiePie standpoint on this. After a while, the same jump scare with the same character remodeled will get a little stale. I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying this game is not at all scary, because this is the part of the FNAF game I have the least playtime on, because I'll probably pee myself if I actually played for too long, because of the ambience, and it's kind of, yeah, it's scary, kind of, just a little bit. I think it's scary up until the jump scare. But basically, this FNAF 3 was supposed to be the end, but it was so mediocre that Scott just kind of reimagined what the ending should look like, and that made fans question like the integrity of the story. So it just kept on going. But it's okay, because we love FNAF. So the problem with this game lies in the lore. The actual gameplay is fine to me. The mini games are cool. The lore. Is it Dream Theory? Is it not Dream Theory? Was it Illusion Discs? Was it not? I think it was Illusion Discs, in that he was just testing what that could do before his daughter died. It's just overall an element like that I personally believe is what happened. But I know it's a very divisive topic and can ruffle a lot of people's feathers. But like I said, the actual gameplay it's pretty good. I think that the listening to the breathing can get a little redundant, and I feel like it's so slow paced in some aspects on the first few nights. but it's so fast-paced because you don't have no clue what you're doing. So it allows for a lot of unnecessary deaths because the game doesn't explain to you very well what's actually going on. But besides that, that's really all I'd say. I'm gonna put it smack dab in the middle. We're gonna give it a B. Oh boy. FNAF 5. Now, this is the game that I was going to make an hour-long video on for how much I, drumroll please, love this freaking game. Now, I know some of you either just clicked off, are screaming at your screen, or are trying to dox me right now. But you know, I honestly don't care, because this game is literally just, it's amazing. Before I start my actual talk on this one, I will admit, if you play it more than 3 times, the novelty will wear off. But watching people play this is not equivalent to playing it. So I can watch people play it as much as I want and not get mad. So FNAF 5 is a special game to me. For a multitude of reasons. We have all of the old Minecraft roleplay channels and the amazing music connected to it that I'm going to try to separate, but it's going to be really difficult for me because I just cannot, like, those are attached to this game for me. But I'm going to try my best. So FNAF 5 opens with, oh my, voice acting. And we learn the main bad guy's name, William Afton, as well as a very just cool shot of Baby. And at the same time, I genuinely think that in certain ways, this game just it's hard kind of to put into words. In certain ways, this game just excels in everything and does better on most things from the other games. And like I was saying with the last one, so the last few games, they haven't really been adding characters. FNAF 2 added new versions of old characters as well as the Puppet and Balloon Boy. And ever since, they kind of just been recycling old characters other than Fredbear and Nightmare Fredbear. Nightmare and all them. But they've just been recycling old characters, putting them into new models. This is the first game that we really have a change. We have, of course, Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy, but now there's Ballora, Biddy Baz, Mini Arena, Baby, Bonbon, Bonnet, Yendo, and some other characters. There's just a wide variety of things that are down in this basement that really makes it feel a lot more creepy as well as a bit depressing, knowing that there are sentient creatures that have never seen the light of day that are so desperate that that instead of rather rotting for the rest of their existence, they destroy their only shell, keeping them like standing, and crawl inside a person that they scooped out the insides of bodies and try controlling their body. It's more sci-fi, but it's so depressing and oddly creepy to me. And we haven't even talked about the gameplay yet. So FNAF Sister Locations is funny because there's no set routine. Every single night is something new. Night 1 is your stereotypical FNAF 3 night. Literally nothing happens. You just kind of shock some animatronics and go home. Night 2, you have to hide in a desk from a Biddy Bab. Then you have to crawl through Ballora's gallery, which is one of the scariest parts in the whole game. The singing and just overall loud music while you're on the ground crawling to a massive door, it's unmatched. It just shows the scale of what you're dealing with so well from literally a ground perspective. Then you do repairs on Funtime Freddy, and this is where the unknown part of this game comes in. The unnatural kind of like what's gonna happen. When you're walking out of that room, I and many others did not know that Ballora can't even kill you. she says, like, hello, is anyone there? And you're still on edge. You can literally just walk through the whole room without dying. As fast as possible, you just won't die. And it makes it seem a lot, well, because you don't know, it makes it seem a lot more high stakes, even though in reality you could have just walked right through, but you would never know unless you replayed the game. So yeah, night 3, the Foxy night. Oh boy, the flashlight, the flash beacon thing annoyed me, but overall it was still a cool little part of the game that I feel like Scott could have handled a little better. But it wasn't bad. Then you do more repairs with Bon. That's kind of annoying, but it's okay. I'm trying to go as fast as possible here, because I want to make a full video on this one day. But then you get you get jumped by Foxy, bro. He kidnaps you, bro. Like, actually, and then he get Gotsia, puts you in a suit. Night 4 happens, and we don't talk about night 4. Night 5, you come back and get scooped. And it just accumulates to an awesome game, in my opinion, that I really, really enjoy. And I get it, a lot of people don't. For Yaz video, he shed some light on the haters of it, so now everyone's kind of like not liking it. But I personally love Sister Location, and I will one day make a full video on it, but this year I'm going to have to leave it up. So I'm going to put it top of S tier. And yes, guys, that is where we're going to conclude part 1 of 2, maybe 3, depending on how long I ramble about the next ones. But we covered the first 5 games here, and if you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and, well, yeah, bye. Stay tuned for part 2.